Well, hello and welcome along to the 101st We Happy Few 506 podcast. Has a lovely ring to it. I'm here with my beautiful co-host Dougie, who's had a spot of trouble with his back and everything else in his life. How you doing, Dougie?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just had one of those days on Wednesday where, I smashed my phone and then the cash point chewed my card. And so it feels like my entire world dissolved in the space of about an hour. So now I can't do any banking on my phone, can't get any money out, can't call anyone, can't do anything. Like, cause and even when you get on the website of the bank, they send a security text to your phone. So I can't even get into the website. Oh my God, this reliance on technology is driving me nuts. So, yeah.
Yeah, so not that I'm trying to out disaster you here, but my father-in-law, I'm over in London, right? So
All right.
yeah, so I'm not allowed in my wife's father's house. We've been together for 21 years, by the way, and I've never been in the house. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it. You're the type of like understanding hippie guy. You understand it. I've learned to live with it. It's her thing. I've never
Mm.
been. So they're staying over there in West London, and I'm over with my buddy in East London. I'm over in Bow Road, and so I went to see everybody yesterday, and then I'm just about getting on the train. And my father-in-law is an eccentric fella, but he's also a bit of a disaster. And just as I'm getting on the train, the phone rings. It's my wife. She's like, "Come back, come back, come back." I was like, "What? Why? I've got to get back. I've got to shoot. I'm going to do a podcast," which is why I didn't make it yesterday. And oh, yeah, my dad's just dropped his keys down a manhole, which is sealed shut, and he can't get it out. And I was like, "What keys?" And she's like, "His keys for everything. Like he's got like a janitor type key hoop with every key in his life on the same hoop. He dropped it. He said he dropped down a sealed manhole."
Oh my
And I'm like,
God.
right, I'm coming back. Um, get him to get any tools he's got, and I'll get it. And I'm just like bigging myself up. I had no, like, it wasn't based on any facts that I could get these keys at all. But I was like, I'll make it. So his mate picked us up and we drove out to somewhere in Hayes. And
It
I
must have been
found
a stormwater drain cover, right?
it is what it is. Yeah. So I find my father in law who has a coarse fishing net. You know, those one of those keep nets that you keep fish in
Yeah.
on a pot that he's got from Lidl. And he's down what I would call a drain. It's not a manhole at all, a drain. And it is a storm drain. And he's fishing for his keys. And I was like, "How long you been here, Jeff?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I've been here for about, about an hour. I think I can get it, but he can't quite get the net down and everything." So I managed to get a couple of jimmies and I jimmied it open,
Mm.
got a plank and sort of whooshed it all up, all the muck down the bottom. And I managed after about 45 minutes to fish his keys out. So I felt like I really achieved something yesterday. I fished out these really mucky keys, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're the savior," because he found it.
That
But
is impressive. I'm a little bit concerned that he tried it with a fishing net. Isn't that not the best thing to hook keys with?
well, you'd
Like,
think
can
you
you
might.
fashion some sort of hook out of a
Well, no,
out
because they
of a
were in about there was about a foot and a half of water at the bottom of the drain, and then
yeah,
sludge all the way underneath
yeah.
it. Just years of filthy sludge. And they had sunk to the bottom of that. And I managed, after a good deal of coaxing, to coax these keys out, but then I stank. And I stayed like the Elizabeth line all the way back to East London, and people were moving away from me, like a hobo who gets on the train and you move away half out of embarrassment, half because it comes.
Yeah.
That was me, yeah. But
Oh
also,
God.
I was falling asleep as well. So I stank and I was like falling asleep on the person next to me. And
So
this
you
is
look like a
embarrassing.
proper hobo then.
I
How
look
long have you been
proper.
in London? What's the story for being there?
Well, we got the tour at the weekend. So
Oh, right. Is this the first Masters tour you're doing?
first Masters tour, and that goes out this weekend. So I'm
Wow.
back mostly to do that. It's also my son's first birthday, so we brought him back to see family.
Wow.
And my son is thinking about maybe going to college up north now. He's decided he'd rather do that than stay in the States. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go here.
Yeah.
So we're just doing a little bit of exploratory work on that as well. So I'll be here for a couple of weeks on and
Oh,
off,
wow.
doing different stuff.
Does it
Um,
feel good to be back in England? Or what do you call, because you've lived in both countries almost the equal amount, haven't you, over
pretty
your
much,
life?
I don't
What is
know.
home to you?
I don't know is the answer to that. I feel pretty much at home in both places. I feel like I get away with more in America because I've got an English accent.
Mm.
Uh, so I think I might prefer it there. I've got a bit more of a swagger in America because then I just open my mouth and people believe anything I say because I've got an English accent.
It's
Whereas
good when you own a business. Yeah.
it is, but because I've got a Yorkshire accent here, people don't trust me at all. So it's weird. But it's nice. It's nice to be back. I'm hanging out with mates. I hung out with my mate Martin today that was in Brentford Rejects together. Saw
Mm.
Natasha as well, who's coming on the tour at the weekend. That was nice.
Oh wow. So what is how many days is the tour? What's the did you have you done like a dry run of everything? Like or if you is this like the first because it's the
Yeah.
first Masters tour, so it's all new venues you haven't really been to, is it?
Well, Leighton's been to all of them.
Mm.
So much so that I think he might have some type of injunction out against him because they think he's a bit of a stalker, turning up at these places all the time. Definitely within this is kind of Leighton's deal, whereas the band tours are kind of my deal because I've done
Yeah,
them before and I know the guys. This is more sort of Leighton's deal. It's his bit of history, it's the stuff he loves.
yeah,
He's an RAF man himself, so I'm kind of along for the ride a little bit. I'm just want to learn.
yeah.
Um, and then we've got a Q&A. We've got a bunch of the Masters guys coming actually.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Yeah,
That's
because we
going to
had a
be
bunch.
such a treat for the
I
for
know. And,
punters. That's
and the
going to
thing is,
be really special.
the thing is that because we interviewed all those Masters guys, I got a rush of blood to the head, and every guy, Josh Bolt onwards, I was
Mm.
like, "Hey man, we're going to do a tour. Do you want to come?" And they were like, "Yeah." Well, I said this to about seven of them, and they've all said yes. So we've got about seven of them coming. So we're going to
Really?
do, yeah, we're going to do a Q&A, I think, at Thorpe's Abbot. Um,
Oh, that would be
it's
special.
really cool.
Yeah, make sure you record that, like the Q and A's, because they do like that. It would be nice to see that on like YouTube later on as well. We could like perhaps air the Q and A of it because I think because that will be the first one.
Yeah,
I've
it
not
will.
seen any stuff with the Masters guys really. It's been a really slow burn, isn't it?
It has. And I bought, we happy few has a fancy camera, um,
Mm.
a company camera, and I brought it with us, so we'll get some good footage of it. But it has been a kind of a slow burn as
Mm.
far as sort of I guess like media attention or profile attention, but anybody I speak to has seen it, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, great!"
I just kind of like, I wonder why that is because like band was so big so quick and then kind of fizzled out after a few years. And then it's almost felt like 10 to 12 years after or 15 years after, then it just had another huge resurgence. But this one is kind of strange. Is it still only been out on Apple TV? Is that the only
I
platform that's been out? Yeah.
think so, yes, and I just think like I don't know. I think HBO kind of does stuff like that better. Do you know what I mean? I
Mm.
don't think Apple has sort of pushed it and given it the access. And then, of course, with Band, it had its resurgence came around at the time that they started to put it on box set.
Yeah.
And people would
Yeah.
like buy it on box set and then just I don't know. I think just the way it was consumed, like bands got this like strange thing that people watch the entire show over Christmas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I watch it every Christmas.
It's become almost like me, like, I watch Die Hard every Christmas, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
It's
a
weird. It's
Christmas
a bit like
movie.
a
Like,
Christmas movie. Yeah, it's like
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just become a bit of an institution, like with people and quite a few people I know with that film particularly. And Band has got that sort of feeling about it as well. And I'm just wonder how Masters is going to get there, wonder how Masters is going to progress. But it almost feels like it's not going to happen until they actually sort of sell it to other platforms and other like if we see it on Netflix in a few years, I think, do you know what I mean? It would be, I
yeah,
think it would do it really good because I think, like you say, it's because it's such an amazing piece of television and it's like that technology they had on it is just, I think that was brand new. Didn't they develop it almost for that show? This
yeah.
new, the sort of the live screen thing that we've talked to about every actor that we've had on about when their first sequence when they're sitting in the aircraft and you've got these real images, live images all around you. I mean, that
Yeah.
must be one of the first times that's ever used that technology. It sounds like it. I've not really heard it before. Heard it being used
Yeah,
before.
I think so. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's what captures people's imagination. I mean, band had the thing where it became, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it became a recruiting tool. That's what Eric Jenderson always talks about.
Oh,
That
really?
people watched it. Yeah, people watched it and then they felt compelled to sign
Yeah.
up themselves. Like it was like, this is something I want to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I guess
Interesting.
because boots on the ground soldier is always a boots on the ground soldier. At the end of the day, your boots on the ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think maybe somebody watching that, it's always sort of retrospective because you're never going to be a co-pilot on a B-17. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we said it so many times when we have cast members on, they're a completely different breed to what we were.
Yeah, 100%.
Like far more educated, far more eloquent, just far more cerebral kind of characters. Where I found that there's one thing I think all of us had in common. We're all like a lot more physical, a little bit more kind of roughish, rough diamonds. We've got the education, but I think what I've got a sense with the Band of Brothers guys, especially after the show and getting to know everyone, is that a lot of us are self-educated.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? We've learned through life and experiences and stuff like that. Well, I feel a lot of the masters actors, a lot of them had been to university, they weren't like the first generations to go in the university in their own families. Their parents might have done as well, or one of them might have done. Do you know what I mean? It's just like they're completely different, but it is what it would be if you were an airman because you had to have qualifications. And today, you really have to have high qualifications to get into the Royal Air Force. Only as a pilot or
yeah,
a co-pilot, you have to have been to university, don't you?
yeah. There's a very high filtration on it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like the creme de la creme.
Yeah. And even
Yeah,
once you get in, it depends on what you fly, doesn't it? To how much talent or because like the best guys ended up flying Harriers on a aircraft carrier.
yeah,
And but if you just got the qualification, weren't they good at flying, you'll end up flying C-130 or something like that, wouldn't you? It's just dependent on how good you were to what kind of equipment you could fly on. I always thought that it was a choice. Like I thought, oh, you want to be a fighter pilot, or you want to be a bomber pilot, or you want to be a reconnaissance AWACS pilot. I didn't know that it doesn't work like that. It's down to like how high you finished in your class and graduation and stuff to sort of what sort of machinery you could go. Yeah, so they are a different breed, aren't they? Pilots and stuff and
yeah. And
co-pilots.
they're often unsung as well. Um,
Mm.
but I guess it's like who do you trust with a 17 million
Yeah, it
pound
wouldn't be me or
plane?
you, would it?
Yeah, exactly. Neither of us would be keen. Some of these masters guys who are very smart and eloquent, they might think, yes, I trust you, but
Yeah,
not those
exactly.
two
I think
idiots.
I'd crash it on taxiing. I wouldn't get it out of the hangar.
Wait a second. Yeah, they'd be asking you, so can I please see your phone? You'd be like, yeah, I threw it down a road because I was angry because my card got stuck in an ATM. And where you going, by the way?
Yeah.
How's things with you, man? How's things in Germany?
Yeah, things are okay. It's just like life. I'm just keeping life really simple at the moment, really. We had like a heat wave that lasted like 2.5 weeks where it was over 30 every day, which is really hot in Germany. Do you know what I mean? And lots of days when it was like 34 in the shade, and like the whole city just kind of almost grinds to a halt. No one can be asked to do anything. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just unbearable. And just on Monday, Tuesday, the weather dropped down. Like the temperature went 20 degrees lower. It's like 15, and a lot of rain. Um, yeah, now September's coming. Well, we're in September, and it's getting dark really quick. I mean, what is it? What time does it get dark in England at the minute? Because it is literally like dark here at 7 o'clock now already. It's
Yeah,
kind of it
got
kind of
dark
gets
about
dark
half
here
an
so
hour
quick.
ago.
It's
It's
like
quite,
in the space of a week, it went like half an hour or 40 minutes sooner to go, for sundown. I keep forgetting that we're quite far north in Europe here in Berlin. We're quite far up the top of the country, and I keep forgetting how dark it gets. Um, and I've got nothing planned really. I'm gonna looking for a language school. I'm going to start that up. I was just with my neighbour Nadine and her sons, we went and got a Burgermeister burger, which was great.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah, she's got three sons and eight that are 8, 13, and 16. They're all really lovely lads. The oldest one speaks a bit of English. The middle one speaks really, really little bit of English, and no one who's 8, he doesn't. But yeah, no, they're really sweet lads. But it's like it's full on. Do you know what I mean? It's just like you
Yeah.
go up to a flat and it's just always bedlam because it's like 4 people in this tiny little flat they got. But it's good fun. Yeah, we're getting on really well. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And that's
That's what
kind
I
of,
did, isn't it?
yeah, kind of, yeah, it really feels nice. It feels like I've got like getting a little bit of a family here and, you know, yeah, it keeps me occupied and yeah, it just kind of feels nice. It's been a kind of a rough couple of years. So it's just, yeah, that kind of feels nice. And I'm
You're
gonna
in a,
get
you're
back.
in a relationship, is that right?
Yeah, just starting, just in the last sort of month or two, and that's yeah, it's just we're taking it really slow, and it's just really cool. She's a really cool woman. Yeah, she's really really nice. So I'm just, and she lives like just 2 floors up, so it's really cool.
Definitely
And
no.
yeah, no, it's just nice. And other than that, I'm not really doing anything really. I'm kind of just trying to get back into shape after months and months of not exercising. Do you do any gym stuff like that, or is it just manual labor that keeps you fit? Because you're in really
Manual
good shape, isn't
labor,
it? It's just
manual
manual labor,
labor.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If I'm not doing that, then I do tend to bloat up because I'm only small. So if I stop,
Do you put on weight easy then?
yeah, I do. Yeah, real
Do
easy.
you?
So I generally try and keep laboring as much as I can. Um, I can't like I used to play a lot of sport as well, but man, I'm just falling to pieces. You get old, like you can't play.
Yeah.
Knees go. And then my Achilles went playing football. So
Oh God.
grunt stuff keeps me in shape. That's about it, really, man. Yeah, just grunt.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just went back sort of bouldering 2 weeks ago for the first time, and just trying to do that 2 or 3 times a week, and just going plenty of walks and stuff. And it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm 53 now. It's nuts. And I'm looking for a language school because I have to start again from scratch. It's just so depressing. I can't believe it. I've been here now since 2020 and I can't speak a word of German. And we're like nearly like, do you know what I mean? We're nearly at the end of 2024. It's really embarrassing. So,
Does
and
Nadine
it's
speak English?
sorry.
Does Nadine speak
Yeah,
English?
she speaks really good. Not she speaks good English. It's not really really good, but it is good. It's good enough. Like we have a lot of fun, but quite a bit gets lost in translation a bit. But it's really for kids, you know what I mean? They're really like because the youngest one doesn't speak a word of English, obviously. So and that's been quite a challenging relationship to kind of get on and nurture, because he's the youngest and yeah, that's been a challenge. But yeah, we just took him out earlier. Went for a burger. Burgermeister says this really cool burger joint here that's only exists in Berlin. It's like they've got like 4 shops or something called Burgermeister. So if anyone ever comes over here, that's the burgers to get. They're really really good. Because people in Berlin they don't buy off the chains. It's really
Lovely.
weird. If you go into a Späti, which is like a corner shop, you will see like reams of Fitz Cola, which is like a Berlin like brand of Coke set up, a little independent company, and you'll only find like one small shelf of Coca-Cola. It's really weird. Like even huge world brands, they don't sell well in Berlin. Like people just don't buy off big companies here. It's really weird. There's only like I think 4 Starbucks in the whole city.
Whoa.
If you think it's like 3 4 million people, 4 million people, there's only literally like 4 Starbucks in the whole city because they did have more, but they just closed them because no one goes because they
Yeah,
just don't
I'd
like.
assume in a city with 3 million people, there would have been 3 million Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's about the ratio in London, isn't it?
Usually the ratio, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you
Whoa.
been back? So how do you find London? What's London like at the minute?
It's nice. The weather's beautiful, so I've been doing a lot of wandering about.
Is it good
I,
to visit? London's a better place to visit than to live.
it is
I'm
a better place to visit and live. So I'm staying with a mate of mine. He's got a real nice house out in Bow. Yeah, I've been all I just walk. So yesterday I walked from Bow all the way to Soho and then back again. So
Did
I was
you? What's that?
yeah,
An hour and a half, hour and a.
at least yeah, an hour and a half. I did the first leg in flip flops, and
Oh,
then
what?
went and bought some trainers.
Oh my
I'm
God.
walking with a pronounced
You
limp
must,
today.
you must have huge blisters around in between your big toe.
Yeah,
And,
well, they're the sliders rather than ones you grip with the two toes. So,
right.
but yeah, I just kept walking. I don't know why. It's a bit like Forrest Gump running on empty. Empty. I just kept walking. Uh, I just like walking to all different districts and stuff. I love it. So yeah, it's been really nice. And I went down on the South Bank today, saw a mate of mine, and
It's
it was one of
lovely
those.
down there, isn't it?
Yeah,
South
and
Bank.
the sun was shining, and everyone was out, and we're outside the tape. But it was one of those things where it's like it makes you feel a bit better about yourself because he's only got one kid, and I've got three. So have you now. You know, learn
Yeah.
to love that.
Yeah.
And his kid threw a shit fit from the second we met at about 11 till about 2:30. Just
Really.
an apoplectic shit fit.
For what reason do you know?
We don't know. But it's funny because because like I don't know, like he's kind of a dandy, and I got my sunglasses on, and we got this kid. People assumed we'd adopted this kid
Right.
together. The people keep giving me a look like I'm so sorry. I was like, not my kid. They thought we were a couple. But in the end, we managed to get the mum on FaceTime, which calmed the kid down. So we
Wow.
stopped. We stopped for a jar and had a good chat, and then Natasha joined us, and she's like a school teacher, so the kid just suddenly started behaving.
Wow.
It was real
That's
nice.
impressive. That's super impressive. Are you going to see any of the other guys, any of our guys? Has anyone been in touch? Or do you kind of go under the radar because you get calls from everyone to come see you?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about putting it on that WhatsApp chat. Um, but I don't know how many hangovers I want. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
those boys go on it a little bit. But I messaged Dexter, and this is great. So I messaged Dexter because I think I know where he lives or where he used to live in Holborn, and I was walking past his flat. So I looked up and I sort of WhatsApp messaged him saying, "All right, mate, something we always talk real stupid to one another. I can't remember what I said. Something about can I pop up and water your hibiscus or something." I got this message back, right? And he's like, "Mate, I'd love to see you, but I can't because I'm away and I'm living indigenously with these tribes in the Amazon." And I thought he was just being Dexter, just saying something surreal and weird. And I was like, "No, no, I promise you." And then he sent me all these pictures on my WhatsApp of him and indigenous people and hammocks and like people eating raw fish and this kind of stuff wherever he is. He sent me all this
Wow.
stuff. He's like, "Yeah, we're over here, and I'm here with the missus, and we're embedding ourselves." I just put back, "Cool. Are you sleeping on sand?" And then I was like, "Cool." And then I got the funniest thing, right? Half an hour later, there's no word of a lie. 30 minutes later, I got a message back that said, "Yeah, mate, I might see you in a couple of days, actually. We're thinking of packing up and leaving tomorrow." And I'm like, "Did you tell your wife that I'm in town and then blame me on the fact that you want to bail on this terrible holiday that you thought was a good idea and it's
So
clearly horrible?"
they've gone completely native and then
Sure,
realised
good.
they
Yeah,
love a luxury. Well,
yeah.
that's ambitious from Dex.
It was ambitious.
It's
It's just
not the
like,
sort of thing I could imagine him doing, to be
no,
fair.
he's a man who likes the finer things in life as well.
He
Do you know what I
does.
mean?
Yeah.
It just made me giggle so much. I was like, he's obviously thought about it and thought, "That's my excuse to get out of here."
Yeah.
Legions in town. We better go. So
Yeah,
I
we
haven't really
better
given
go,
him a
babe.
tip.
Catch a flight in 15 hours. We just got to get a donkey to the airport or whatever. Do you know what I mean? We've got to take a donkey and then a canoe and then
Yeah,
a
exactly.
sailboat and then
Air balloon to the
air balloon. Yeah,
probably
give
Phineas
smoke
Foggy.
signals to the air seaplane to take off.
But
Yeah,
the
but
funny thing is,
it's quite interesting. Like you met Catherine who came on one of
oh,
the
your buddy.
Bastone, my
Yeah,
friend, one of
your
my
buddy.
best.
Weirdly enough, I was going to ask about her. The one that's in the Arctic blowing holes in the
Yeah. The
alien.
scientists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's just gone on holiday with her partner to like a deserted island.
Okay.
They're going to be the only people there.
Right.
And so she's gone for a month. It's somewhere, I don't even know where it is. I don't know if it's in the Pacific or somewhere in the, I don't even know where it is, but so there's no electricity, there's no structure on it at all.
Right.
So there's no permanent structure. There's no, so they're having to get like a motor launch or something is going to drop them off with a month's worth of food, right? They've
Yeah.
got to build their own camp, cook, they've got to kill basically their own food because they're only taking basic provisions and they've got no power there either. I think they're taking a small generator, but only using that for emergency. I don't even think they're taking a generator. They're taking because he's like he makes weather instruments, for measuring weather. So I think he's built like a solar panel, and they've gone there for a month.
All right. I'm gonna dig deep into this. I'll tell you why. Because as you know, I spent the last few months living off grid in North Carolina,
That's right.
and I will tell you this: there is a reason that man has been avoiding nature in increments for the last 2,000 years, and that is everything in nature is trying to kill you. Okay, from the microscopic bacteria to the big bear, everything is trying to kill you. Much as it seems like a good idea to go off grid, it isn't. Um,
Yeah,
because
they've got so she's because obviously it's surrounded by salt water which you can't drink. So they've got to take water, like a way of making water, rainwater and stuff, and condensate, and like as well as taking around and like take water purifiers and all
yeah,
this kind of stuff. And
yeah,
they've got to make because they've got to kill their own food. They've got to fish for it. So they're taking basic stuff, right? But they're going to literally like make harpoons and spears and kill their own dinner every
oh
day.
my days.
I can't. I was literally looking at it going, are you mental? Like
Yeah.
this does not seem like a holiday where you've got to get up and literally fight for your life every day. Do you know
It's
what I mean?
not,
And
yeah,
then God knows what like weird crabs because they say they reckon that Amelia Earhart, the woman that flew around the world, and
yeah.
they reckon she crashed on a landing, but they reckon she was eaten by these crabs, don't they?
Oh, I didn't know that, but that makes sense to me. Everything was
Yeah,
trying to be in North Carolina, like
yeah,
everything was
there's
trying to
a an island in the Pacific where she was kind of lost that has these crabs that can literally they've got the hardest like pressure per square inch of like biting power of any like it's like 5,000 pounds per square inch or something. So they can bite through your ankle,
like a
bite your
bolt
foot
cutter.
clean
Yeah.
off. And I reckon that's where she was lost. And I'm just like, what if you end up like these one of crabs like gnawing on your feet at night or something?
It's everything, Dougie. It's everything. Like literally, like from the bacteria in the water to
Hmm.
like ticks that leave a bullseye on you, and then that's it. You're just gone because they'll give you Lyme disease or whatever.
God.
To spiders, to snakes, to crabs in this case, with bolt cutters for pincers, like
Yeah.
every, and that's without the indigenous whatever it is, coyotes and bears and everything. But it's the problem with living off grid, right? Is if you want to just go and get some water and make a fire and cook something, that will take you all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's a disaster. Everything breaks. You have to fix everything. Everything's like 5 steps back and 1 step forward, and everything is trying to kill you, and
Yeah.
nothing
And
works.
what if you lose, what if you get your box of matches wet?
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
screwed. You can't
Yeah.
make a fire. And then you have to do the old fashioned, like, I don't know. Like, I've been like, if it was anyone else, I'd be concerned. But because she's lived in the Arctic for like 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time, where
Yeah.
they have to dig a tent, and all the rest of it. And okay, you take your own food, but if anything was to go wrong, you're in real trouble. Like you can't, there's no rescue up there, like especially if you got 80, 100 km/h winds, there's no helicopter or plane that's going to land or anything that's going to save you. So you have to be careful. If it was anyone else, I'd be really concerned, but I'm quite confident that they'll be fine. But yeah, so they're there for the whole month of September. And I'm going to be very intrigued to hear what it was like. Because I don't think, what did you have up where you were? Didn't you have snakes and bears and stuff? Did you see any snakes?
All of the above, yeah. Snakes, coyotes, bears, um, spiders of all
Oh, really? Did you see any
descriptions.
awful
Oh,
spiders?
oh,
Like,
yeah, one landed on my face.
oh
So
God,
there
what?
was yeah, and it's a wolf spider. So anybody who doesn't know what a wolf, actually they're fairly harmless wolf spiders. They're not that poisonous. It's about the size of my hand,
Oh my
proper big head, and
God.
has these huge, like weird mandible things sticking out of that. And it was the most innocuous thing. There was an awning up like that, and it rained.
No.
So I just sort of pushed the awning, and this thing fell down onto my left eye. And
Oh
because it
my
fell down onto my left
God.
eye, it looked about 3 foot wide, because it was this close to my eye. And it started scrabbling about and kind of bit me here, and then fell down, and my face all swelled up. But they're territorial wolf spiders. So obviously, because my wife's such a hippie, I'm not allowed to just stand on its head for doing that. I have to, coax it into a glass, and then you have to move it. You have to move it 100 meters away, otherwise it comes back because they're
Oh,
territorial and
what?
they know their sort of territory. So yeah, that thing landed on my face. There were poisonous mushrooms everywhere, ticks, coyotes, bears. Like literally everything was just trying to eat me.
What?
And the water that we got came in a catch, which is actually just a bucket up near a spring. And if you don't clean that out every so often, crayfish decide that's a real nice place to have their children, and they've got lots of bacteria in them. So you end up getting the poops real bad if you drink crayfish water.
Oh my God, that sounds hell.
Yeah,
Was it
after a while,
difficult? Was it did everyone in the family catch something, or was it just you? Like,
yeah, we also got weird rashes, and I don't know what that was. Like at one point, Rigby just was like covered in a rash, like to the
mm,
point we couldn't like take him anywhere because I thought everyone's gonna think he's got measles. And we
mm.
never bottom of what that was. I'm wondering whether that was a weird parasite or something. In the end, we were like, you know what, this isn't such a good idea. Should we leave? Should we just not be here?
I
And
think
so,
I think yeah, people underestimate it. I think it's like I think you have to be really you have to have I think it's you have to have quite a bit of knowledge. I think you have to have quite a bit of preparation, don't you? Because you have to really kind of know like the area you're in, like you are like you say, like anybody else, like if you'd eaten one of those mushrooms, dude, do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like game over potentially because like you're probably hundreds of miles from a hospital there as well, right?
we were definitely quite far from any
And if
type
you're in a
of.
forest, helicopters can't land unless you have a big enough clearing, right? So like you'd have been bang in trouble.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, as well, is it's a bit living like that's a bit like Squid Games or something. It's like
Mhm.
somebody. It's definitely by design. Like you start to think there's definitely a design. There's definitely some type of divine design on Earth because there seems to be a cure for everything on the mountain, as well as a poison for everything. Like if you get there's hornets and things and ground wasps. I got done real bad by ground wasps as well.
A ground wasp. What the hell is a ground wasp?
Like wasps that you get in England, like a normal yellow jacket wasp, they
Yeah.
live the ground, and if you disturb their nest, they come out like shoo, 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 and they just stick to you, just stinging the life out of you. So I got done real bad because the water pump went, and I was trying to fix the water pump, and I stood on the ground wasp. The whole thing. I was like
Oh my.
yelping around like Homer Simpson. But there's these plants on the floor, and they're called plantain, something like that. If you chew them and put them on the wasp sting, it is magic. The pain just completely goes away.
What?
I know. And it's like, this has got to be by design, but you're supposed to figure it all out.
Hmm. Wow.
Um,
Ground wasps. I've never heard of anything so hideous.
yeah, yeah, some big ass hornets as well, but done by a hornet about the size of my finger. That's
Really?
that's
They're
fun.
really so what was the swelling like? I mean, it must have been painful as
Yeah,
hell.
really painful. Yeah, yeah. Hang on, I just need to plug myself in. Hang on, I'm going to run out of battery. Yeah,
Yeah, but getting back to the point, if you had to pick one person who would not fit that environment, it's Dexter. Do you know what I mean? He would be the
what we were
one
talking
person I would say, not him. He can't. It's not for him. Do you know what I mean? Unless he has to have that, his cappuccino and his cigar and his
Yeah,
single
yeah.
malt
Fine
and
wine, bit of fine wine.
bit of fine wine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
battery things.
Did we
Charger.
get a good response to our last show?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely on social media. I did anyway because that was Cudlett's news, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good to speak with him. It's literally been over 20 years since I last spoke to him. Yeah. So how
Yeah.
long? So after this tour, you got a couple lined up in a row, haven't you?
Yeah. The next we're thinking about doing something in Bastogne as well. We're just trying to negotiating when and where to do it and how to do it. So that will be during the Nuts weekend, which is sort of mid-December.
Mm.
And then we have another Masters tour that goes out in January, and that was kind of really cool because that's Escape and Evasion. So we're going to do some of the Comet Line, where the guys crashed and how they then got back to Allied
Oh,
territory.
well, that sounds cool. That's an original idea.
It's really cool. We've got Reggie's doing that one, and Sawyer Spielberg's coming on it, and all this business. So it's going to be really
Brilliant.
cool.
God, that's a really cool idea. Do you know then? Do we know any of the specific routes that some of these crews took to get back?
Yeah, we've actually got. I think we've got one of the farmhouses. We've got the crash site. We've got the propeller from one of the planes. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to see that. So it's going to be really cool. So yeah, Reg has done a lot of research on it, and I think it's going to be really cool. So you sort of like you come up with those ideas, and then you sort of like to trust the team to put it together. But I think he's really run with it. Reg, he's got really excited about it all. So I'm
That's
kind of
a
like,
really original idea. I've not heard anyone else doing that before. That's a really
well,
original idea. That would be great fun.
well, I don't know if Reg listens to this, but that's what tends to happen is I come up with the idea and then it gets rubbished in a Zoom meeting. No, we can't. No, that one. No, it won't. It would never work. And then about a week later, I get a message going, I've had an idea.
Yeah.
We should do an escape and evasion tour. Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, that sounds a brilliant idea.
The thing is, you've been telling me versions of that for years, so that's why I know it's true. You have to have a special workaround with Reg where,
well, it's basically his idea.
Like, okay, when it's not, it's yours. Yeah.
That's yeah. Some of the ideas that I have clearly can't be done. So I just come up with them, and he's like, "Nah, that won't be. They can't do that." But I figured this one was an okay idea. But then I had to also make sure that it wasn't actually my idea; it was his
idea. Yeah, that's Reg. Yeah, I really don't know him that well, but yeah, he's an intense character when you go on tours with him. It was only the one, I think, or two. I can't quite remember now. It was the one back in 2017, and he was incredibly intense. He's very good. He's super intense, isn't he?
No, he's good. He loves it, and he gets it's broadly speaking. I'm just taking a mick, really, because it's not that he doesn't claim it as his idea. Because he tells the stories a certain way, which is always boots on the ground. So he tells the stories from the point of view of the guys that lived that story. So if he doesn't know those stories, if he doesn't know a certain guys who won a Medal of Honor here, he doesn't know, then he doesn't possible because that's not the way he works. So then I think what happens is he goes back, does a bit of research and thinks, you know what, we could do this exact same thing back to me. That's a brilliant idea.
Didn't a lot of the air crews, because I think like a lot of the British air crews, didn't they all get put in like the famous Stalag Luft camps?
Yes.
Is there one still existing as a museum? Isn't there a Stalag Luft still existing? I think there is, or there was, wasn't there?
Couldn't tell you. I'd be surprised if there wasn't something somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There must be, because I remember like when I was a kid in like the 80s reading all about it and reading about, do you remember you used to get like books but in cassette tapes?
Yeah.
You'd get like 4 tapes and it was
and they were about this big from the library.
Yeah, and it was a book. I can't remember what it was called. But it was about trying to escape from Stalag Luft. I think that might have been it, like Escape from Stalag Luft or something like that. and it was an audio book. That's the first audio book I ever heard, and I listened to that story so many times, and could almost picture it in my head what it looks like. But I'm pretty sure one of those is a museum, definitely. Yeah, it'd be great to visit one of those places.
Yeah, I guess those are back in Germany though as well. So it's kind of a
Yeah,
bit
exactly. Yeah, yeah, there must be.
Leighton's going Great Escape Tour.
Yeah,
Maybe that would be a great. I'd love to do Great Escape. I do know what I'd love to do as well. I'd actually just love to do a Germany tour. I'd love to do a Third Reich one. I'd love to do the Nuremberg trials. So we'd actually do like almost pre and post the war. So do all the rally type places and all that kind of business, and then do the Nuremberg trials at the end. I guess you'd maybe do like a Dachau thing there as well, and just do all that sort of stuff. Germany stuff would be cool. But a
yeah,
Great
that would
Escape
be
Tour would be
interesting.
wicked.
There's such strong laws over here
That's the issue.
about
Yeah,
the symbolism and about the words and the use of the words in any kind of public kind of.
and who can guide as well. You have to very specific licensed guide where you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
go.
yeah. But there are some, yeah, there'll be some really fascinating places to go. Obviously, Dachau, I mean, it'll be horrific to go there, but that would be a place to go. And I'm pretty sure one of these POW camps, you like Stalag Luft, because there was three of them, wasn't there? One, two, and three. I seem to remember when I was a kid, anyway, reading about it. That would be really interesting because that's where all the airmen went, wasn't it? And the Great Escape was kind of that was based in a Stalag Luft, wasn't it? The film.
Yeah, we could get you to do the Steve McQueen thing on your motorbike and just
And
leap.
see if we could, jump and kill myself. Yeah, that'd be a fantastic idea.
You or Alex, one of the two. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
yeah, wicked. How's Are you doing any auditions?
I no, I haven't. I kind of it's really kind of strange. About a month and a half ago, I had a spate of auditions and a couple of offers as well came in.
Okay.
And yeah, I couldn't take them because I wasn't quite ready to work. Um because I was sort of transitioning from coming off medication and stuff like that. So I just wasn't ready. And now obviously everything's back and everything's shooting, so it's gone quiet. But I was quite surprised at the interest I had, really, out of nowhere. It was like a few things could have really. Well, one was a straight offer, and another one I'm pretty sure I would have kind of got. I'm pretty convinced of it as well, and I'm quite normally realistic about these things. So it felt very strange to kind of turn down work, but that's you know for a reason. And I think that yeah, it kind of it's really strange, isn't it? All the auditions always used to be September and shooting October, but now all the auditions are sort of August for starting in September, October. So there's going to be a little bit of a lull, but I think I'll be ready for the next kind of spate of auditions that will be around November, early December for sort of January, February start sort of thing. So yeah, I'll be ready for those. But yeah, I just wasn't kind of ready physically, really, or mentally, really, for that sort of because it's quite intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of 8 till 8 every day and sort of being around hundreds of people and have to be switched on all the time. I just really wasn't ready for it. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully, and it'll probably be the way that when I'm ready, there'll be nothing happening. I won't get any
People
work
won't
for
want you
another
there.
year,
Yeah.
but I feel kind of in the next couple of months, I really feel ready to kind of go at it again and I have to really be sure that I'm ready, really, because it's quite an intense thing to go and do and put yourself up for stuff. It doesn't sound like it, does it? But it is, because it's not just like it's not just doing the self tapes; it's preparing yourself to get um, to get rejected again. It's preparing for that, but it's also preparing for the opposite. If you do get the work, to be kind of really up for it and prepared to give it 100% and be kind of ready. And I just haven't been there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting work definitely next year. In the beginning of next year, I'm going to really try and push hard from it, and I think something comes. Like I said, I was really surprised that I had interest after taking just over a year and a bit out, I suppose. Yeah, it was quite. You've done a few, I've heard, auditions and stuff, haven't you?
No, no, not really. No, no.
I thought I just heard a couple of rumors there there was something that you might be involved in. I can't remember where it came from. Maybe somewhere on the
Yeah,
Bandcroft's group.
they're attempting, I think, to reboot Brentford Rejects. So
In what kind
Apple,
of form are they going to do that?
similar form, but a similar, more modern form. And so I think they're doing something with Apple TV with it.
Mm.
Um, and so they shot a sort of pilot teaser
Oh,
thing
really?
last month, which I was supposed to be in, but I couldn't make it back.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So you were casting it then?
yeah, I mean, it was just like me playing an older version of myself in the original one. But I couldn't make it back. And they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it, because if it goes to series, we'll just put you in it anyway." But I don't know. I don't know whether it'll end up getting picked up or not. I guess if it does, I'll be in it. But I'm not like I kind of saw the pilot. I'll be honest with you, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like,
How was it?
I don't know. I'm not a commissioning editor, but I was like, I don't really. I don't know. I wasn't all that impressed when I saw it. I was like, I feel like it
And
could be.
what platform? Who was it for? What was the broadcaster?
It's a Canadian rather production company that are doing it for Apple TV.
Right.
Um, so I
That's
mean,
quite interesting. When did it finish shooting the original?
2000, something like
So
that.
they've gone quite back through the archives to find that show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They have.
So it must have been pretty good then for them to go, this is something we can revisit and it would be and it could reboot. That's
It was
pretty cool.
it was popular, and it was fun, and it was all about football. So like that's always got an audience. You know, this is
And
about
football is
football.
in those 20 years has become really popular in America.
Yeah, they're
And it
popular in
wasn't then when
America.
you were doing that show.
No,
It is now. Have you seen the crowds at LA, the LA team? That
yeah, yeah.
it's packed every game.
And particularly women's football's got huge. I mean, the Americans have won the World Cup a bunch of times,
Yeah.
and every girl you meet in America plays football. I mean, they're the best in the world. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being cynical, but I was like, when I saw the pilot, I was like, I don't know.
But
Is it
how
any
do you
good?
but how do you feel about the possibility of going back into it again?
Um, don't know.
Because that's a
A
big because you haven't done it for a long
long
time.
time,
For me,
yeah.
it's just been like, I don't know. Well, I've been doing self-tapes, but not very many, only the last about a month or two ago, I did a few, but I only took like 14, 15 months out or something like that. But you've taken a long time out, haven't you?
I have. It's not something I feel a calling for. Do you know what I mean? I don't think to
Mhm.
myself, "Oh, I'd really like to be
But what
like."
if you got? But if you got the offer, if it got picked up for a season, would you go? Yeah, let's come and do it, and move the whole crew back to England for 6 months to shoot or something.
I guess I probably would. Yeah, I guess I
Mm.
probably would. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it would be fun. I mean, it'd be fun to play like an older version. Well, I am the older version of myself, so
Yeah.
it would be fun. But it's not something I'm like really pining for.
No.
So maybe that's why when I saw the pilot, I was a bit like me because I wasn't desperate to do it. I think when you like really want to do something, like you see, oh, it's going to be great, even though it
Yeah.
might not be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would do it. I think it'd be fun to do.
God, that would be crazy coming from that long out to sort of but coming back into a show that's so you like working full on the whole thing, turning up on
Yeah,
set every day and dealing with the whole thing.
yeah, and it would be back doing this show that I did straight out of drama school as well. So it'd be really weird.
It is. Yeah, that's really crazy. Because a couple of the guys have gone back and started doing auditions. I know Alex has been doing auditions,
Right.
and Peter Hubler, for our listeners, has been doing auditions, but not. I don't think either of them landed anything yet. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything.
Right.
That's
Okay.
one thing. I think that's quite hard to go back to that after. you know, to go back to, because basically it's just okay. Okay, I know. I've got a great idea. I'm gonna go back and get rejected five, 4 times a week. I'm not. Don't have enough rejection in my life, and I
Right.
don't have enough. I have the capacity to be treated like dirt, and I really want to experience that again on a weekly
Yeah.
basis.
And then it's like it's got to be like a joint decision with. I mean, they're both married. It's got to be a joint
Yeah,
decision with your wife as well because like they live it as well. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they probably lived the time when you got rejected a lot and you were down and it affected, your family life and they probably moved on and they've got like careers and
Mm.
stable and it's like, you know what, I've had a great idea. This stable life we've got. I'm going to
Stable,
explode it.
enjoying, happy life that we've got.
I'm
How
going to
about let's
explode
just
it.
ruin that? Let's put
Yeah.
that on hold.
And I'm going to be sort of manic and depressed quite a lot. And we're not going to have any money. So if you wanted to sign off on that, that would be great. Um, yeah, I don't sort of, I get it. I get it. If you got the call and if you still got it and you really want
Mm.
to do it, then I guess you've got to give it a crack again, at least for a while.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I still like, I kind of, my relationship to it has changed so much over the years, like everybody's does. It's like life is just like the seasons in a year. You always have a different, your relationship with the same things changes throughout life. And now I'm kind of, when I'm sort of physically and mentally, but like I'm looking forward to getting back to it actually. And I still really enjoy it when I do it, which is great. And after that sort of hugely long and arduous attempt at a career change to become a barrister, after that kind of bit me in the arse and I had a breakdown and all the rest of it. And, I can't, I'm not going to go back to that, I don't think. But I will go back to studies at some point, but not, I think I've kind of come to terms with, yeah, that's the acting thing. I'll just keep doing it for, because you don't retire as an actor. Like as you get older, you don't retire, do you? I don't. Is retirement a thing you ever think of? Because I can't see.
no,
Yeah, because you just take less work, don't you? As you get older, you just take less work if you want to. Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely not.
No,
I'm a
I think
different type of
retirement was
generation
really
who
our
retire.
parents. Our parents were that generation where you work to 65, retire. That sort of very conservative approach. I really don't think that's going to happen in
No,
future.
I don't think anyone can afford to anymore. That's why.
No, exactly. No one can afford to do it, but would you want to either? I mean,
I think so. I think so. Go out of my mind.
yeah,
I have to keep myself busy.
yeah.
Any road up. Should we call it an evening? I can hear my kids downstairs going absolutely mental, and I think
Okay, well, they're dismantling the house. Yeah, you better get down there
dismantling
and.
the house. There's a couple of things I've got to say. Big thank you to a new Patreon because it's my elder sister Sarah. She's gone into the pod, and my sister gets into things big style.
Right.
Uh, so she's gone into the pod, and she's probably listened to all 100 of them in the last week, knowing her. She gets up at 3 a.m. and she just goes out live. So big thank you, sis. Love you.
That's great. Thank
Apparently,
you. What's her name?
Sarah,
Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
thank you, Sarah. But she apparently, and I didn't know this, I think you can have a profile picture as a Patreon member, or she's just decided you can have a profile picture. And she sent me 3 different pictures that she wants me to pick from as her profile picture, and they're all incriminating of me in some way. Like there's one of us in a paddling pool, and I think she's about 7 and I'm about 2, and I've got like one of those swim caps down over my eyes, real weird. And I don't know. I look like I've had some type of reaction to something. I'm really like bloated and weird looking, and there's a couple of others. So I'm, I might put them online. I might put them on my Instagram, and you guys can pick which one's their profile pic. But I look like a goober in all of them.
That sounds outstanding. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, sis. Love you. And I hope to see you again soon. We'll pick the profile picture for you. I don't know if there's anybody else to say thank you to, but if not, thank you to all our Patreons who
Yes. Thank
keep the
you.
lights on and help keep us rocking.
Yeah.
We will be back next week, probably with another guest, probably another two guests, actually.
Excellent.
And we'll get digging back into the history and shows and all that kind of stuff. But it was lovely to have a catch up with you, Dougie.
Yeah, you too. Lovely to see your face, mate. I missed you.
Yeah, you too. All right. All right, guys. We'll see you
All
next
right.
week.
Thanks for listening. Ciao.
Cheers, fellas. Bye.